All right, House of Payne fans. Unfortunately, we still have no premiere date, but season 9 is coming. That's something to look forward to. I mean, at this rate, we have what after this week two new. Here's what I think. I think that we'll probably find out when the show's coming back. Um, Around the time, if not during the finale of the Oval Season 1. That season finale is going to be coming up here on July 29th. And just a kind of a brief segue here, I was looking at my calendar, working out my budget and my to-do list, and I just realized that in a couple of days, we'll already be at the halfway point of July. And I swear it feels like just yesterday I ripped the calendar off from June to July. So just a brief little statement there. But before going any further in the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe if you are new, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out whenever I post new content. And please follow me on social media. Links to all my various platforms in the description box below. Not much news to say in this video aside from the fact that I did some research on House of Payne, and thank you all so much because the BET Awards teaser trailer, that video is over 80,000 hits. I have no idea why that video did so well. People love House of Payne, enough said. Maybe it could have been the Miranda and Calvin thumbnail. Either way, yeah, that video did numbers, so I figured why not do some research, see if there's anything else that's come out. No episode synopsis or anything, but the very bare minimum that I found was season 9, episode 1. So pretty much the season premiere is called Been a Long Time. And that's honestly all I have to say in the video. But since we have no synopsis, I'll kind of talk about the title just a little bit, not to bore you all down with the details. So if you want to click off the video, before you do, make sure that if you would like to donate to the channel, hit me up on Cash App, PayPal, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But for Been a Long Time, I think it truly encompasses what it means to be a House of Payne fan. And I'm not going to sit here and rag on the Paynes about how bad it was. I got an entire playlist of videos where I do that. But for House of Payne, I feel like this title, when I came across it yesterday, it actually gave me more hope. Because if you go back to my BET Awards teaser trailer breakdown, I talked about how I'm not overly optimistic. I'm glad the old cast is back. I'm just going to be looking to see if this show really captures House of Payne in terms of the character interactions, the personalities, the dialogue, and just the humor. And the House of Payne had a warmth to it, basically a feeling where these were like either your family members or someone from your community. Someone, it's kind of like you almost saw people you know within the characters. And that was something, and this, again, not to rag on the Paynes or the people who worked on it in terms of the actors and whatnot, but that show couldn't capture the chemistry of House of Payne. And I mean, yeah, you had Curtis and Ella, and honestly, I don't even think it came down to the fact that pretty much only Curtis and Ella were the only OG cast members who were there. I just think it was the fact that the new characters, I'm not saying that what was their names, Kenny and Lynn had to be exactly like Jasmine and Malik, or Nyla had to be Janine, or Joanne, what was her name, was it Claudia? I cannot think of her name. Basically one of the neighbors that was friends with Ella. Basically, it's like that show never really found itself because I feel like it was just too stiff. None of the jokes were landing and it was just poor quality. So House of Payne, when I see the title Been a Long Time, that almost gives me a little reassurance like, hey guys, House of Payne has been gone for quite a while. I know the Paynes came out, wasn't that great, but it's been a long time, but I'm going to bring things back to how they were. But the thing is, House of Payne doesn't need to go exactly back to how it was. Because even though I'm excited about the old characters coming back and everything, it's the fact that this series is set 5 years later. So we're going to be dealing with new problems for the different characters. For example, Malik and Jasmine won't be going through the same things they were going through when they were younger. I mean, sure, they might be going through similar hurdles in life, but they'll be bigger due to the fact that they're older. Calvin, obviously no longer married to Miranda. He's probably going to have new romantic, maybe not problems, but maybe challenges or a different dynamic with the new character Laura. Malik apparently is going to have a baby on the way. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see the dynamic between the characters. So I just feel like Been a Long Time is definitely going to encompass not only the changes within the cast members themselves, but when you think about it, Been a Long Time, you got to think about the series ending. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it end in like 2012? If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 2012. If not, please don't go at me in the comments, but you can just let me know, hey, Jeremy, it was actually like 2013 or 2011. I honestly don't know. As you all know, if you've been on the channel for a while, you all know that I kind of fell out of House of Payne a few seasons before they ended because of the fact that I remember I was back in 2012. I think that was around the time, I finished undergrad and I was going to start grad school that fall. And I know it was kind of like back during high school. So I want to say around 2008, 2009. I had to stop watching because TBS kept changing the freaking time slot. I didn't have a vehicle in high school, so I wasn't driving to school. It was pretty much a school bus or nothing. And if I overslept, then I was screwed. So I couldn't stay up to like 11 o'clock watching a new episode. Because I had homework, I was in those college level courses, so I had to get sleep. And it just got to the point where I just lost. I remember one time I watched one episode, then the next thing, like, wait, when did CJ and Janine have more kids? That's how out of the loop I was. So I'm not able to recite House of Payne episode titles or plot lines like the haves and the have-nots, because I wasn't really involved in every single episode. But I know this video was a bit long for, well, Jeremy said that the only thing that you have to say about this video is the fact that the episode title of the season 9 premiere is Been a Long Time. Well, yeah, there's a lot to say because Been a Long Time not only encompasses the gap between the last episode and the beginning of season 9, but also look at where are you in life in 2020 compared to where you were when the series ended in like what was it, 2012? Again, if I'm wrong, but that's almost like 8 years, right? Depending on the date of when the show comes back. But I do feel like we should definitely be in for a treat. I'm looking forward to it now just because this title just has me a bit rejuvenated and more optimistic than before. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you feel the same way as I am, or do you think that I'm just reading too much into one single episode title? I'm not looking for like breaking storylines and everything. I'm just looking for some warmth. Like if I walk into the Payne's home, I feel love, a little bit of hate for Curtis, but at the end of the day, there's some love behind it. And just to see the cast dynamic, because that's one thing I really loved about the first couple of episodes of the Paynes, where we got to see the Paynes family together. Just seeing how Malik has become an amalgamation. I don't even know why I said that word. I'm not trying to flaunt or anything, but that word just popped out. It just reminded me of Malik, how he had the cockiness and semi-swagger of Calvin, but at the same time, he had a little bit of Uncle Curtis-ism in terms of how he just says stuff and doesn't really care who hears it. So yeah, he's definitely Calvin in training with a little bit of Uncle Curtis in there. So I really can't wait to see his character. Jasmine, if there's one thing I'm hoping that they don't do with her character, is what they did during the opening episodes of the Paynes, where we get it, she's the sassy, youngest child, but in the Paynes, I feel like Jasmine in the Paynes was actually a foreshadowing for what that series was going to be. Taking a person's character trait that they're most known for, and then turning it up to like 11 when it doesn't need to. Because go back, well, honestly, I don't want to punish anyone, but go back and watch the first couple episodes of the Paynes with the original families in there, and you'll notice that Jasmine has an unnecessarily extreme amount of sassy lines. Like every time somebody says something, she has to throw in just a sassy line, and it's like, okay, sometimes you don't need to say something all the time. Even when she was a little girl, it actually worked better because she wasn't always saying something, but when she said something, it was either overly sarcastic or you really felt what she was saying because it was extremely relevant to the conversation, even when it wasn't fully necessary. But in the Paynes, it's like, yeah, it's not necessary for every line of dialogue to come out of your mouth to be overly sassy. But all that's to say, I can't wait because it has indeed been a long time. So keep your eyes to the channel as well as BET. As soon as we get any kind of snippet of news, I will report on it. At this point, I'm pretty confident that we'll probably get a either like an extended trailer or at the very least a release date for House of Payne. I would say no later than the Oval Season 1 finale. So with that being said, once again, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll catch you all in the next video.